Lady Master Pearl is no mere chronicle of events, but a guidebook into the light. Peter Mount Shasta has turned his autobiographical talents to this profound biography of his beloved friend and teacher, Pearl Dorris. You will find love in its many manifestations and deep truth within these pages that points the way clearly forward. The example of Pearl's life will change you and open your own pathways to the light if you will allow it. This is a book of love and possibility, and even perhaps inevitability. Lady Master Pearl, My Teacher, by Peter Mount Shasta. Chapter 16. Pearl and the United Nations. In the midst of the Second World War, many nations signed a declaration of intent in 1942 to start an organisation that would resolve future differences amongst nations. They were scheduled to vote on the Charter on June 25, 1945, in San Francisco. Pearl was not a follower of politics, as she preferred to work on the inner planes to improve the world condition. However, one day, she found herself almost thrust onto the world stage. She was supposed to meet Jerry and a friend for lunch in Santa Rosa, but on the way she felt the unmistakable pull to drive instead towards San Francisco. Crossing the Golden Gate Bridge and wondering where she was headed, she called to the Master Saint Germain. As she entered San Francisco, she continued on Lombard Street, affirming, "I am the presence of Saint Germain driving this car, taking me where I am meant to go." Soon she felt the pull to turn right and proceeded down Van Ness Street. A few blocks from Market Street she heard, "Park here." Still, without knowing where she was supposed to go, she parked and started walking. In a few steps, a woman dressed formally came up to her and said, "Aren't you Pearl?" "Why, yes, I am, but how do you know me?" "Oh, my dear, I attended one of your I Am classes that you taught, and your sincerity and innocence made such an impression. I could never forget you. My name is Virginia Gildersleeve, and I'm in town to help organize the meeting to approve the United Nations Charter. In fact, I'm on my way there right now to meet President Truman. Why don't you come with me?" Now Pearl realized that this must be the reason she had been guided here, and told Mrs. Gildersleeve she would be happy to go with her. Together, they walked the remaining blocks to the War Memorial. Veterans Building. Inside was the largest group Pearl had ever seen. Mrs. Gildersleeve said that she had to go around back to meet the other delegates, but first she would make sure that Pearl got a good seat. To buy this or any other book from Peter Mount Shasta, please go to i-am-teachings.com. That's www.i-am-teachings.com.